Minister asks for an SIT probe into the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. The Congress finds itself haunted by questions all over again. From 1984 to 2002, why has it been so difficult to get closure? Is it possible for India to move beyond the politics of riots? That's our special focus on a day when Arvind Kejriwal has pushed strongly for an SIT probe into the 1984 riots, and the Congress is now being asked those very tough questions on riots that shook Delhi 30 years ago. The issue has also generated a debate on Gujarat, with the Congress and the BJP trading words over each riot. Why though has it been so difficult for riot victims to get closure and to get justice? And how can India move on?
Rahul Gandhi! Rahul Gandhi! Rahul Gandhi! Rahul Gandhi! Rahul Gandhi! Rahul Gandhi!
In the politics of my riots versus your riots, the 1984 anti-Sikh riots versus the 2002 Gujarat riots, the focus now back on the Congress's albatross, especially after Rahul Gandhi's admission that some Congress leaders may have been involved and Arvind Kejriwal's demand for an SIT probe.
1984 के जो दंगे हुए थे उसका एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव तरीके से एक स्पेशल इन्वेस्टिगेटिव टीम बने. मैंने एलजी साहब से बात की थी और उन्होंने बहुत पॉजिटिव इसके ऊपर रिस्पांस दिया.
ऐसे में राहुल गांधी जी का ये मानना कि कांग्रेस ने ये नरसंहार कराया है, हम उनसे ऐसी उम्मीद करते थे कि वह देश के लिए, देश के प्रति हुए इतने बड़े नरसंहार के लिए माफी भी मांगेंगे. अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने भी कल मांग की एसआईटी की. हमें खुशी है कम से कम कोई तो हमारे साथ और जुड़ा.
After 9 probes in 30 years, the victims of the 1984 riots case are yet to find closure. While 30 have been convicted in 12 murder cases, the alleged faces of the riots, Congress leaders Sajjan Kumar and Jagdish Taitler, are still walking free. The cases against them are still in various stages of appeal. In the 2002 Gujarat riots case, over 140 have been convicted. Of these, 130 have got life terms, 10 have been given death sentences and are again in various stages of appeal. Former Minister Maya Kodnani has been sent to 28 years in jail, and Narendra Modi and his government have been given a clean chit. But as Congress ally Praful Patel pointed out, perceptions are tougher to shake off than court cases.
If the judicial system has given any pronouncement, I think we ought to respect it and we need not question it further. Politics is not only about the judicial system, politics is also about perception.
In this battle of riot versus riot, apologies, the demand for it and the withholding of it is another tool. And so, Narendra Modi might say, can you imagine the inner turmoil and shock of being blamed for the very events that have shattered you? But still stop short of a direct apology. And the PM might apologize?
I use the opportunity of a discussion in Parliament to publicly apologize to the Sikh community on behalf of the government of our country for what had happened in 1984. It should never have happened.
But Rahul Gandhi can still refuse to admit that he owes the Sikhs an apology, even though he can continue to say that Modi abetted the crimes in his riot despite a clean chit from the court. And as new riots are added to this list of political tools, the debate continues. Whose riots were worse? An NDTV Bureau report.
Well, how can India move on from the politics of riots, whether it's 1984 and 2002? Is it even possible at all? Joining us tonight on the program, we have H.S. Phulka, member of the Aam Aadmi Party now and lawyer for the 1984 riot victims. We have Professor Shiv Vishwanathan here in the studio with us. Shahid Siddiqui, the editor of Nai Dunya, joins us tonight from Delhi. Naresh Gujral, Rajya Sabha MP of the Akali Dal, joins us tonight as well. Sanjay Jha and Devang Nanavati, the spokespersons of the Congress and BJP respectively, are with us this evening as well. Mr. Phulka, let me ask you, sir, it's been 30 years and 30 painful years clearly for those who were affected by those riots in 1984. What purpose, sir, do you believe that the SIT will be able to serve all these years later with so much crucial evidence that has probably been destroyed, so many commissions that have gone into this? Do you believe that the SIT will give closure if it was set up?
You see, in 2005, the Nanavati Commission gave its report, and it mentioned in the report that out of 587 FIRs total recorded, 241 FIRs were closed by the police as untraced. But unfortunately, Nanavati recommended the reopening of only 4. And added 237, it didn't say anything. Now you see those 4 cases which were reopened in 2006, 22 years after these killings. Now investigation started at that time. Those cases were also closed by the Delhi police and the CBI investigated. The CBI found that these cases have been wrongly closed by police. The CBI found that the records have been forged by Delhi police to give benefit to the accused, and out of those 4, in 3 cases the charge sheet was filed. In 2011, the statements were recorded in the court and 1 case is decided. And in that case, out of 6 accused, 5 accused have been convicted. Now you see the same fate we are expecting in the other 237 cases which are closed by the police. If those cases are also opened, then if the witnesses can stand the strenuous cross-examination after 27 years, they can withstand that after 30 years also. The evidence is very much available. The witnesses who are still, some of them are still alive, they are prepared to give the evidence. So I am expecting that the same thing will happen in these 237 cases as well.
Okay, so you believe very strongly, sir, that there is still some hope even after all these years. Then may I ask Mr. Naresh Gujral, so why is it that Mr. Prakash Singh Badal has opposed the setting up of an SIT? He's actually said that there's hardly any need for it because there have been several high-level inquiries conducted before. What is needed is exemplary action against the Congress leaders that were involved in this entire act. Why do you believe, why does the Akali Dal believe, Mr. Gujral, that an SIT will not serve any purpose?
Mr. Badal has not said that an SIT is not required. What he has said is 9 inquiry commissions were set up before and they got nowhere. What we are demanding, and we have said this in Parliament, we have taken a delegation to the President also, that SIT should be set up under the supervision of the Supreme Court as was done in Gujarat. Only then would it be an effective SIT. And as long as the Delhi government demands that, we welcome it.
Okay, so you believe that a Supreme Court monitored SIT would be effective, but let's then look at not just 1984, but you know the politics of riots that we're talking about tonight. Sanjay Jha, every time 2002 comes up, the BJP talks about 1984. Every time 1984 is invoked, the Congress talks about 2002. Isn't it a fact today, Mr. Jha, that these riots that hit Delhi 30 years ago are haunting the Congress today on the eve of elections in a big way, where very tough questions are now being asked, the role of your leaders is being scrutinized by a media that wasn't there 30 years ago perhaps to ask these questions, and this is something that the Congress has to deal with?
Nidhi, let me tell you what happened in 1984, what happened in 2002 are both reprehensible. I think as a country, let's keep the politics out for a few seconds. I will respond to your question, but what happened was extremely wrong. Loss of innocent lives can never ever be condoned by anybody. So I think it was extremely regrettable. It's a blot on our country's secular credentials and history. To respond to the question here, I think fundamentally, a lot of people are today talking about Mr. Rahul Gandhi's interview to, one of your rival TV channels. Mr. Gandhi said something which is in the public domain. He did not shy away from saying that there are certain Congress leaders who are currently being investigated, under whom, some trials are on, the CBI is investigating the cases, etc. I think the acknowledgement of that, and the fact, Nidhi, that the Prime Minister of India in Parliament, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi is a Congress President, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi at that point of time, and right now on your channel on behalf of my party, I would like to say that we are ashamed of what happened and we would like to apologize for it. I think I would also like to therefore make a point. This is pertinent, this is not politics. Because what you witnessed tragically enough and I think it's extremely shameful, that in 2002 when the riots happened, they
No,
were
no, I
different
want to
from
talk
what
about
happened in
1984 first. No, Sanjay Jha, I don't want to move to 2002. Well, I'll tell you why. Because
Okay, fair
despite the Prime Minister's apology, despite Sonia Gandhi's regret, despite everything, the fact is there is no closure on 1984. And if Mr. Rahul Gandhi admits that some congressmen were probably involved, those same congressmen, the Congress party was attempting to give tickets to contest parliamentary elections. Jagdish Tytler, for example, it was only when there was an outcry in the last Lok Sabha elections that you were forced to withdraw that ticket when that whole incident happened at the AICC. So did the Congress all these years take this issue seriously enough to bring closure to it, to take action against its own? It didn't. You were willing to offer them tickets to contest.
Well, Nidhi, let me tell you, there were inquiry of commissions. Now, the truth is, in our, democratic or our judicial processes, there is a Delhi police, there is a CBI, there are courts, so there are different levels of courts. Now, end of day, there can be a palpable, people can make assumptions of the fact that somebody is guilty. But whether we like it or not, and it's a harsh reality of our times, that you have to accept whatever is the verdict given by the courts. Now, at the moment of time, I can tell you, on behalf of the party, none of the leaders that you mentioned have been rehabilitated in terms of being, given any positions. But you have to juxtapose this discussion today with the 2002 riots because of only one reason, that since you talked of an apology, you have at the moment a Prime Minister designate of the BJP who was the Chief Minister when the riots happened. 12 years, 15 years down the line, there is no apology from not just him, from anybody in the party. There is no remorse whatsoever. And the difference was
yet there is no closure on 84. Sanjay Jha, there is no closure on 84.
The abuse of state machinery.
There is no closure. Mr. Pulka wants to come in on that. Mr. Pulka, why? Mr. Pulka,
I want to make one point.
Yeah,
I just want to make one last point, Nidhi.
Yeah.
The truth is, and this is the truth. The truth is that the families who were devastated by the loss of relatives and many other people, for them, I think closure is definitely very painful, because both in 1984 and 2002, I agree with you that one can empathize with the loss of lives, and that closure is indeed something that I think as a country we need to work towards.
But it's not there. And Mr. Pulka, why isn't it there, despite the fact that, as the Congress is at pains to point out, that the Prime Minister made this apology in Parliament? Clearly that wasn't enough. At the end of the day, there is much more in terms of justice that needs to be seen to be done and to be done.
Now first let me request you, and I request all the anchors, that when they are talking about 1984, do not allow the Congress to use the defense of 2002. And at the same time, when we are discussing about 2002, please do not allow the BJP to use the defense of 1984. The both are equally bad, and both these parties have to reply on for their own sins, not use the other has committed a bigger sin. Number one. Now number two, if the guilty of 1984 had been punished, we wouldn't have seen the Gujarat. We wouldn't have seen the riots in 1993. Now if today you close 1984, tomorrow you close Gujarat, then be prepared, it will happen at another place. Now according to one of the principles of the criminal jurisprudence says to act as a deterrent. If the guilty, instead of being thrown in the jail, if they are given positions and made the ministers, and after that delay the process of the law, use the political power, and then they say so many years have happened, closer. Please, for God's sake, don't start this in the country. This has been happening. We need to stop it. The law of the country says in a murder case, there is no limitation. Even if the 50 years has happened, if the accused is alive, still he is to be tried. And we need to do it. We need to deal both of them very sternly. Then only our future of our children will be safe in this country.
And Mr. Pulka, I completely agree with you, because when you say about the comparison of riots, we've done so many programs on both 1984 and 2002, and every time, this comparison is evoked by other political party. But Shahid Siddiqui, in this case, what has happened is that you had Rahul Gandhi making that comparison in that interview where he said, the difference between Gujarat and 1984 was that the government in 1984 did everything it could to stop the riots. I think that is something that has really rankled, and that is why today the scrutiny is back on the Congress and its role in 1984 because of that comparison that was made.
Yes, absolutely, you are absolutely right.
That comparison shouldn't have been there at all. The administration, the government, the police failed in both the cases, and not, why do we only talk about these two riots? If we have to talk about riots, let's talk about Nelly, where 3,000 people were killed. Let's talk about 93 Mumbai riots, where thousands of people were killed, and Sri Krishna Commission report clearly indicted lot of people, including lot of congressmen, and they were all under Congress government. The Meerut Maliana riots, the Bhagalpur riots, all under Congress, and none of the cases justice has been given to the people. Apology is not enough. I mean, in our country, if we have rule of law, if we have human rights, then there has to be justice for people. So there can be no closure unless there is justice. Or let's say that, and if people are killed in the riots, then they will not get justice, then it will not come under the rule of law. But if you are going to compare this way, then things will come out, lot of dust will come from under the carpet. Please don't do it. Either move ahead, move away from the politics of riots, move away from this politics of saying that my riot was better than your riot. My riot was less bloody than your riot. This kind of secular riot and communal riot should not go on and on. People are fed up, especially minorities are fed up. We are being used as a football by all the parties, and this game of riots, Rahul Gandhi goes to Muzaffarnagar, Rahul Gandhi goes to talks about Gujarat, but what about Assam riots which took place under the Congress government? What about the riots in Gopalganj under the Rajasthan government? And they were Congress governments. So you have to treat all riots equally. You can't treat Congress riots and BJP riots and opposition riots differently. If you do that, then you lose your credibility.
I'm going to take that to Devang Nanavati as the BJP spokesperson here today. Mr. Nanavati, is it possible to separate the two? Why do these comparisons get evoked all the time?
Look, Nidhi, I could go on into the same record that we've been talking time and again, that as what action did the Gujarat government take during the riots in 2002, what was the role of the Chief Minister, what has happened with the Supreme Court appointed SIT, then my friend Sanjay Jha will shout about Raju Ramchandran. The fact is that has been included in the latest order of the trial court that has completed its verdict. Then again Mr. Jha will say, no, it's pending in the High Court. So I will not go into that. The fact is that a legal process in 2002 was on. It is completed. There have been results and convictions. Now whether those convictions have happened because the Supreme Court intervened, or because an NGO filed a complaint, or because the state prosecuted certain people, leave that apart, but there has at least been some convictions, a reasonable amount of convictions in most of the cases, including so-called high-profile leaders of political parties. As in 1984, there has not been a single conviction even 30 years later. That is the fundamental difference. Secondly, while yes, it is true that Manmohan Singh and Sonia Gandhi have apologized, Rajiv Gandhi never apologized for it during his lifetime. There is no record of any formal apology by Sri Rajiv Gandhi when he was alive for at least the 6 or 7 years after the 1984 riots. Secondly, it is entirely for everyone to see, and for everyone who was present in Delhi even then and even today, as to what the role of the Delhi administration and the Congress party was in the 1984 riots vis-a-vis Gujarat, where the sitting chief minister went to an SIT and gave his deposition for hours together. That deposition was placed before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court examined it. The Supreme Court sent it back to the judicial process, and now the judicial process has accepted the verdict of the SIT that there is no evidence against Mr. Modi.
But
now,
Mr. Nanavati, is there closure? Have you got closure for the victims, riot victims of Gujarat? Honestly,
Nidhi, the closure, Nidhi, you have to come and see and ask Muslims in Gujarat. Most of them are very happy for the past 10 years in Gujarat. That is closure. That is the best closure you can give. There are two closures. One is a system of justice where you punish those who are the accused. That has been happening. The second is that the society that remains must not feel excluded, must feel included. Most of them do. Now, if there are certain small vested interests which ensure that one or two people shout here or there, that will always remain. So, if you are asking for closure, yes, according to me, I must say, and a person who stays in Gujarat, that most of the Muslims in Gujarat have felt that there is a closure to the riots and we must move on. And the past 10 years of not a single incident of communal violence in Gujarat is a
let me take that to Shiv Vishwanathan.
And is the best proof of the pudding
Shiv Vishwanathan,
lies in eating
on both the riots, Why have we been unable to move on? Is it just the fundamental denial of justice? Because there's a big difference between, in many ways, many would say 84 has been a bigger crime because it happened 30 years ago and today you're still struggling to get those who led those mobs behind bars.
Can I be brutally frank?
Please.
I think let's stop comparing these two riots. They were ghastly, each in their own way. By starting these riots, Jugalbandi, politicians start behaving like cassette tapes. They play the same conversation again and again. Let's start with closure. Devang Nanavati thinks closure is like shutting a tap. Closure demands therapy. Closure demands a sense of fairness. Closure demands a sense of forgiveness. You see, you need a certain, it has almost got to be musical. To say that this is closure, that a certain little committee actually achieves the aesthetics of closure is not only naive, it's cynical.
You're talking about the SIT report.
Yes, let's be very clear.
Which is backed by a court verdict.
Yeah, you need something more than that. Let's take, both these riots have taken a long period, okay? Many of them have plus and minus points. But the basic thing
let me ask Shiv a counter question. I rarely interpret, but I want to know what is his closure according to him?
That is what he's trying to explain.
Okay,
what next step do you expect?
Instead of being
enforce the rule of law.
Just limit. Rule of law is one thing. I also respect rule of law.
The rule of law is twice done.
Mr.
It is either done
Nanavati,
through a court of justice and through the elections.
Devang, just let him finish. Let him finish and I'll come back to you.
The rule of fairness allows me to complete what I'm saying. Okay?
Okay, finish your point.
Yeah, I respect rule of law.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, Devang. Let's not get it too personal. I think the issues are much bigger. Let's try to understand that you can't be the representative of Muslim people who have suffered in Gujarat. For Devang Nanavati to represent the Muslim community in Gujarat is ironic. I think the least you should do is allow them their voice, their sense of satisfaction, their narrative. You can't just say rule of law closes, brings justice. Justice is much more complex than law. And to not make this distinction, I think is shameful. I respect rule of law, but law doesn't exhaust justice, Mr. Nanavati. I think this is what you have to understand. Committees don't bring closure. Wait, let me finish.
Shiv, have you spoken this for the Kashmiri Pandits?
By the way, why don't you go back in history also? Have you been to the Holocaust camps? How far do you want to extend this game? Stop playing games. No, I think there is something important.
We are talking of India. We are not talking of Germany.
Injustice anywhere is injustice. Let's put it this way.
We have not spoken. We are talking of India.
No, I'm talking about justice, which has no nationality.
Not Germany.
No. I think if Manmohan Singh had responded and apologized like Willy Brandt, the nature of the apology would have been different. The rituals of apology are very different. Brandt got down on his knees and asked for forgiveness. There's a ritual of apology.
What did you think of Manmohan Singh's apology?
Manmohan Singh is too wooden. It could have been a budget item. Let's be very...
It wasn't a sincere apology.
No, sincerity...
It was a political apology.
There has to be a drama. There has to be a sense of performance. Closure is much more complex. Closure needs therapy.
So is a part of that therapy an apology from the leadership?
An apology which carries. You can't have an apology and in the meanwhile encourage Tytler and other people. An apology can be sincere when politics is not cynical. But when Congress is cynical about its politics, there is a certain sense of unfairness. There is a certain sense that you're only closing half of history, the history that suits you. That won't do.
I'm going to take that to Naresh Gujral. Mr. Gujral, would you agree that it has been an insincere apology by the Congress? Because that has been their biggest defense on 1984, which ironically Mr. Gandhi didn't cite when he was asked questions on this. Do you believe in a sense that the Sikh community has not forgiven them for 1984 and hasn't moved on for them despite Manmohan Singh being the Prime Minister of this country for 10 years?
Nidhi, first of all, I want to point out that most of the panelists have been saying that there were two riots, one in Gujarat and one in Delhi. Delhi was not a riot. A riot is when two sides clash. In Delhi, it was a genocide. It was a massacre of the Sikhs. which was organized by the Congress, where Congress leaders were seen on the streets inciting the mobs, where they were participating in those killings. So don't call Delhi a riot. Secondly, I'd like to correct my friend Mr. Nanavati. Sonia Gandhi has never apologized. Rahul Gandhi has never apologized. Mr. Rajiv Gandhi said, when he was asked about it, that when a big tree falls, the earth will shake. There is no regret. Prime Minister said a few things, but what has he done to address the issue? What has Congress done to address the issue? Mr. Tytler is still in charge of Odisha. Mr. Sajjan Kumar's brother is still a member of parliament. Mr. Sajjan Kumar's son was given a ticket to be an MLA. What are they talking about? They only are pretending that they want to give justice, and yet they make sure that these cases are never reach the closure stage. They have to be more compassionate. They have to ensure that the brave Sikh community is finally given justice. And this will only happen if an SIT under Supreme Court supervision is set up, if directions are given by the Supreme Court to the High Courts to finish the cases which are before them by a certain date. And last thing I would like to say, that while we welcome the support of the Aam Aadmi Party, I think Aam Aadmi Party should not take the support of the Congress now, more so after the Vice President of the Congress Party himself has said that congressmen were involved in the killings of the Sikhs way back in 1984.
But Mr. Gujral, let me though ask you before I take those very valid points that you raised to the Congress representative, that do you believe that compassion has been shown in Gujarat after 2002? Because, you know, as Shiv Vishwanathan was saying, perhaps that question of closure goes beyond the issues of law and justice and sincerity of regret and apology. As you said, and as Mr. Vishwanathan also said, that was clearly missing as far as the Congress and the Prime Minister were concerned. But Mr. Modi has not apologized for 2002, that it happened under his watch. I'm not saying that he was personally involved, but just the fact that it happened. He has not really expressed remorse or regret that it happened under his watch. Do you believe it would make a difference if he went out of his way and said, I am sorry, once and for all?
My party has always maintained, and I have always maintained, that Delhi and Gujarat are two sides of the same coin. I have no hesitation in saying that. The only difference is that in Gujarat, at least the process of law went forward. Supreme Court suo moto set up a SIT under its own supervision. I don't know why we were denied that. And I hope that even now Supreme Court would do that.
So you believe it's more a question of law and justice? Moving forward. You believe it's fundamentally a question of law and justice and seeing closure in these cases. But Sanjay Jha, do answer the questions that have been raised on the insincerity of the Congress since 1984 on this. You know, I think you have to say one thing, and again, we don't like comparing riots, but the fact is, Gujarat happened under tremendous media scrutiny. 1984 happened at a time when you didn't have that scrutiny, and today it's blown up again at a time when elections are coming, the media is asking many more questions, and the Congress itself is making absurd comparisons.
I don't think the Congress is making any absurd comparisons at all. I mean, you raised a very pertinent point. The Prime Minister makes an apology. He makes an apology not just on his personal behalf, he makes it on behalf of the party. Now, we are debating here whether the tone or whether it was sincere or not. But nobody is talking about the fact that you have heard nothing, not a word from anybody from the BJP, including their very famous Prime Minister of the time, Mr. Vajpayee, who many people believe were very moderate. So I think let's not be so blatantly unfair. Point number two, and very important here, I need to mention that because repeatedly the Bharatiya Janata Party and its allies keep repeating the point that Mr. Rajiv Gandhi's statement of when a big tree falls was made, as if it triggered the violence. It is so brazenly wrong. because that statement by him was made in a remarkably different context. He talked about it, in fact, 19 days later, on November 19th, on Mrs. Indira Gandhi's birthday, immediately that followed, and he was talking about it with remorse. So it's a completely brazen propaganda and lie. Point number 3, and this is a fact, I'm not giving you a rhetoric here, Nidhi, and
Not
give me
at
a couple
all.
of seconds
He was
to finish,
asked,
because a
you
lot of
feel
people have
sorry.
made
This
some
was his
noises.
reply. He was asked
Mr.
by
Gujral, I did not
somebody-
interrupt
Exactly,
you.
that's even
Mr.
worse.
Gujral, I
You
did
interrupt
not
me all the
interrupt
time.
you. Please maintain
You
some
interrupt me
decency.
all the
Please
time. I'm
maintain
telling
some
you the
decency
facts
here.
are that this was
Okay.
his reply
Now,
when somebody
Nidhi,
asked
Nidhi,
him
I'm
that you
talking
feel
to you
sorry.
and
Sanjay,
through
you
you to
can't
the
talk about
viewers of your
interruptions.
channel.
Okay, Mr. Jha,
Can I carry on here? The
Yeah.
point number 3, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, when he saw that the Delhi police administration was not quick on the take when the violence broke out, he ordered the army to come in at exactly 1:30 p.m. on November 1.
3 days
The
later,
violence
72
stopped.
hours
3 days
later.
later,
3.
the massacre was going on.
Let
for
me
3
finish.
days.
72 hours later.
Let me
In
finish.
Gujarat, the army was
Let me
called in
finish.
24 hours.
Let me finish.
Don't lie.
Nidhi, can I finish here? Now,
You know,
look at
Sanjay, you're
Gujarat
quite
here,
weak
and
on
you
the
need to
facts.
really
There are
juxtapose
records
the
there.
point. Now, 1 minute, you need to juxtapose the point here. In Gujarat, the violence spread to
can't
over
change
100
history.
districts. In Gujarat, the violence continued for
No,
over
it
weeks.
did not. Within
And are you-
24
is
hours, the
anybody-
army did
No,
a flag
it did.
march, Sanjay.
It did.
Don't
It
talk
did.
brazen lies
And the
now.
truth of the
Don't
matter,
talk about things that
the
you are
truth of the
propaganda.
matter-
Sanjay, one second,
You
just
don't
one
even know.
second.
You were not in Gujarat.
Nidhi,
Sanjay,
give me
Jha,
a
the
minute.
point-
hours, the army
Give me a
was
minute,
there.
because
Can you
I
tell me
don't
how
want to
many
interrupt
rioters were
anybody, and I
killed
think
I
it
think
needs
it's
to
an
really
unfair,
be fair
Sanjay,
here.
one second, Mr.
The Chief
Devang,
Justice,
one second, 1 minute.
Let me make a point here.
Sanjay, it's
The
an
Chief
unfair
Justice,
comparison
the
to
former
make.
Chief Justice.
Let's talk about
1
the
minute.
Congress
the
and its
former
role.
Chief
He's
Justice.
brazenly lying on
1
television.
minute.
And he
The
expects to go
former
on.
Chief
He's
Justice of
lying.
the Supreme Court of India,
One lie
the
after
former
another.
Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India, Mr. Khare, has gone on record to state that an FIR should be lodged against Narendra Modi for genocide and manslaughter. This is the Chief Justice of
We
the
are
Supreme
talking
Court of
about-
India
Yes,
said
but
that,
the army-
based on the
Supreme
evidence
Court
that he
has
had.
said
Why
no.
did it take
So let me
three
tell
days?
you,
Former judge said
let
so.
me tell you,
But current judges have said no.
let me tell you,
Sanjay Jha, the
that
current
Gujarat
judges have
was
said
state
no.
sponsored. It was a state-sponsored violence, and everybody knows that. And that is the big difference that
Sanjay
even
Jha,
Mr.
I have a
Rahul
simple
Gandhi
question
is
for you.
very
1 second,
honestly making
Sanjay.
a point of.
Congressman did
You
this.
cannot ignore it.
Sanjay Jha, why did the
No,
Congress party till
1984
today
was wrong,
continues
was
to
very
patronize
wrong.
those very leaders whose
What do
roles
you
are
mean
under
wrong?
scanner?
What do you mean
For
wrong?
1984.
We are
Sanjay
not.
Jha, your party
We are not.
still
It was
patronizes
Maya
those leaders.
Kodnani. Now, Nidhi,
It was organized by
Maya
your
Kodnani
party.
was
Your
shorted.
party organized by
I'm
Maya
not talking
Kodnani
about
was
Maya Kodnani.
promoted by
Now you
Mr.
are
Narendra
Sanjay, I'm
Modi.
not talking about Maya
No,
Kodnani.
that is
Let's talk
protection.
about the Congress.
No,
Please, don't
Mr.
turn
Sajjan
everything
Kumar
into Gujarat.
or 1 minute.
Everything
Mr.
on
Sajjan
84 is
Kumar
not
or
about
Mr.
Gujarat.
Jagdish Titler. No, 1 minute, Nidhi.
You were willing
Mr.
to
Jagdish
for
Titler or
Jagdish
Mr.
Titler to
Sajjan
contest
Kumar
the last
are
election.
facing the law. They are facing, no, 1
Where are
minute.
they facing
They are
the law?
facing
You were
the
given
law.
no ticket.
Nobody
30
has
years
been
nothing
politically
happened.
For 30
rehabilitated.
years. For 30 years.
That is what I'm saying, that you're patronizing those very leaders. Shahid Siddiqui wanted to come in, and then I come to Mr. Pulka. Yes, Mr. Siddiqui.
I find it extremely shameful the way BJP and Congress are trying to prove that their riot was better than the riot of the other. The fact is that there
No, we are
is
not
a
doing
silent
that.
conspiracy in this
We are not
country.
doing that.
Please let me finish. Please let me finish. You may be doing anything, it's my view, let me express my view. And I find it extremely, there is a silent conspiracy in this country so far as communal riots are concerned, and they are not riots. Most have been killings, just like the Delhi killing, which I witnessed myself, and the way the administration and the police and the army and everybody was off the streets for 3 days, and the killing was taking place on every street in Delhi, that we have seen. But that has happened in most of these so-called riots, and most of these parties have joined together to see that justice doesn't come to the people. And now they are trying to divide the people. They have been trying to create this politics of fear. Fear of Hindus among the Muslims, fear of Muslims among the Hindus, and you get the votes. This kind of vote bank politics in the name of fear, in the name of communal rights, have been going on for the last 64 years, and they want to continue it now.
Shahid Siddiqui, are you saying that nobody really wants closure on these riots?
They don't want, the political people don't want, political parties don't want the closure. They want to play on the politics of rights. But the people want a closure. Because people know they are not getting justice, they have not got justice, and another commission will not get the justice to the people of the Delhi 84 riots, or Sri Krishna Commission did not get the justice to the people of Mumbai, or Madan Commission, or there have been few dozen commissions, in none of the commissions reports have been implemented. No recommendations have been implemented by the Congress government in most of the riots. So they are trying to be holier than the other. The people of this country understand both are playing on the politics of riot. They have been playing on the dead bodies of minorities. And this kind of politics has gone on for long. The country needs a closure to this kind of politics. If not closure to riots, closure to this kind of dirty politics on the bodies of the minority people.
Shiv Vishwanathan.
You know, let's face it, 84 and 2002 were both obscenities, but obscenities of a different kind. All of you have been emphasizing only politics. Riots are compared on a bigger basis. Let's start. The quality of violence, the question of rape, the question of displacement, the possibility of return, the kind of chemicals used in violence, the nature of violence. None of you are talking about it. You just talk about politicians as if it's a jugalbandi between two sets of politicians makes this entire narrative obscene. I think Mr. Gujral is right. He has to broaden this perspective. And if you want to talk about justice, look at the comparison. Look at the facts of displacement. Look at the varieties of violence that went into each riot. Without these narratives, you are not going to get justice.
You're making a comparison that you said they shouldn't at the start.
I think the comparison is too illiterate and narrow. It's not a comparison between two sets of competing politicians. The nature of violence is very different. It's very complex. Questions of displacement are important.
Simplified for us.
Yeah?
Simplified for us.
Yeah, very
different
simple.
how?
How many people returned to their homes after the Gujarat riots? What kind of chemicals were used in different kinds of violence? Did you use phosphorus in 84? Did you use a different kind of chemical in Ehsan Jafri's house? It's a question of ethnography and detail. To make it a jugalbandi between two sets of politicians won't do. You want an inquiry has to be an ethnography of the differences in the kind of violence. It has to talk about the presence of refugee camps in Gujarat even today. It has to differentiate between guilt and responsibility for the victim. I don't see such language. Mr. Gujral comes closest, and therefore one can respect his narrative. But with the rest, they could be having a jugalbandi on another kind of political issue.
Mr. Phulka, I'll give you the last word tonight. We began with you this evening. Both, at the end of the day, the only narrative that seems to be common is that everybody condemns what happened in both 1984 and both 2002. How do we move beyond these narratives, sir, as a country? How do we move beyond that?
Now, right, one thing, it is the duty of the government to protect its citizens. When the government has failed, the government owes an apology to the victims, the government owes an apology to the nation. And this applies both in Gujarat as well as in Delhi. Party in power also owes apology to the victims, number one. Number two, those people who have indulged in the violence, who have indulged in the killings under the law of the country, they need to be punished to act as a deterrent in future. I again say, the closure can be only by delivering justice, only by punishing the guilty. If you try to close it without punishing the guilty, by giving the guilty the powers of position, then it is not safe for the future of the country, and it will keep on happening at one place or the other.
All right, I'm going to leave it at that tonight. The disturbing questions there about riot politics in this country and on the eve of elections, I think more and more tough, and I think questions that should be asked, Shiv Vishwanathan, of the Congress party as well, which has asked so many questions of the BJP in Gujarat in 2002. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us on the program tonight. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the day's other big stories in just a moment.